welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this, coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the Earth. Wait a minute, because nothing has changed. I'm live. I'm damn sure live because it's Wednesday night. But I am taping it at the same time. Yeah, fuck it. You guys get the idea. Welcome back to another episodic adventure on the YouTube series Story Time with the Guardian of Chaos here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. Follow me on all social media platforms. You know what they are, besides Guardian of Chaos on YouTube. Over on X, aka Twitter, it's at Big Daddy GOC. And the GOC stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. I have 2 accounts on Facebook. That's right, there's 2. J Brony, just like it sounds, J Brony. For those of you out there with the brain of a dehydrated baby, I mean, no offense, man, kayfabe to all you geeks and goons and nerds and dweebs and mouth breathers and neck beards. I mean, what I say, man, lighten up. And then, of course, my other account, in honor of my heritage on Facebook, Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Let me say it again. Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian. Follow me on Gitter, Gab, Truth Social, Rumble. I cover it all in the IWC because it's me. It's the GOC. I went through a couple of things down here in the vault on Chaos Chronicles, and I just want to show you a couple quick DVDs where I was actually participating. So sit back and relax, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab a beverage, grab your neighbors, grab your friends, grab somebody, man. Drop an elbow on that like button. Subscribe, share it out. And with that being said, shout out to my moderators, the OTS Tribal Queen, and then my brother from another mother, Austin Nance. Thanks for holding it down, keeping it real, and maintaining here on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. So before we get going here on another unbelievable edition of Story Time, I happen to come across these, and I would like to share them with my audience. Different events that I performed on, came out 2 and 3 times a night with my guys. You know that. Booked well over 100 times a year, 200 matches a year, and took on the fucking bumps too. That's right, I took them. Unlike most of you out here in this podcast world who get behind a microphone and give your views and your opinions, and you never stepped inside a fucking ring. Well, I did. I'm not any better than anyone else, but that's why you come here, for a unique perspective on what I've been through. Not only being in the media part of pro wrestling, but actually stepping into the ring. And this isn't a podcast. This is a show. So let me educate you. These are from 2006, 2007, 2005, 2008, near the end of my career, in-ring career, because you know I'm still active at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling with the Paradise 4, and if you include me, it's the Paradise 5, where I do the play-by-play occasionally and definitely the color commentary. You know who the Paradise 4 are. Pretty Paul Roma, Mario Mancini, Paul Perez, and Big Steve Tracy, a.k.a. Dave Paradise. Did I say that fast? Say that 3 times fast. So on this card right here, which was Spring Slam, a double shot on June 1st and June 2nd of 2006, let me give you the luminaries on the card. Guys like Damian Adams, who took on Josh Daniels on this particular night in New York. Ricky Landell, managed by yours truly, against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The very first Ring of Honor heavyweight champion, Xavier, as he challenged from the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. Tony DeVito from ECW's The Baldies against Ron Zombie. Also, on this same event, from the heartthrobs of the WWE, Romeo Rosselli against the legend Jerry the King Lawler. And then, of course, the tag team of Sex and Violence under my tutelage against Vic and Hale Collins. The Now, because everybody's living in the now. An incredible tag team. And then for the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster Abyss took on who's your daddy? Who was it? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Christian Cage. How about that for an event? The very next night, Josh Daniels and Damian Adams in a rematch. Executioner number 2 with yours truly against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I won't forget that 2x4 Duggan. Also, Ricky Landell. Related to the late great, well, I think he's still alive, Buddy Landell, I'm not sure. Against third generation grappler, the Rocket, Fred Curry Jr. Now, you're familiar with Flying Fred Curry, his father from the Texas days, all over the country. And then, of course, the legendary Wild Man, Wild Bull Curry. On that same card, an unbelievable matchup. Xavier took on Jay Lethal. In an unbelievable tag team bout, the Heartthrobs from the WWE, as they took on Sex and Violence. And for the first time ever, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship was on the line as the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, took on the Patriarch. From the Patriarchy, Christian Cage. What an unbelievable event it was, night 1 and night 2 here in 2006. One night was in Danbury, Connecticut. The first night was in New York City. Let's go to another. Again, here's the cover. As you can see on the cover, Christian Cage, Abyss, AJ Styles. Really unbelievable DVDs. With yours truly. Let's go on to the next event. Another double shot, because that's usually what I did. Again, I told you guys how many times a year as a pro wrestling manager that I was booked and how many bouts I was physically involved in. I want you to remember that. I want you to let that sink in. My over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager. And of course, my over 5 decades, 50 plus years as a researcher, a scout, a historian, an agent, a producer, a smark, a mark. That's right. I said it. A mark. We're all marks at one point or another. Don't be offended, man. This next double shot, again, I'll give you the cover there. On the cover, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, the Dudley Boys, the Outcast Killers, Jerry the King Lawler, Velvet Sky from the Beautiful People. Let's run down night 1. The Outcast Killers, Oman Tortuga and Diablo Santiago, with yours truly against the Logan Brothers. Insane Michael Sane against the monster Ron Zombie in a first blood match. For the NEW Championship, which is the Greater New England Tri-State Northeast area, Xavier against former WWE star Joey Mercury. On that same card, Brian Anthony and Purdy Curdy Adonis. King Brian Anthony, if you know the backstory. Speaking of the King, Jerry the King Lawler against Jonathan Coachman and Romeo Rosselli with Velvet Sky in his corner. And Coach was in the corner too. You guys know who the Coach is. And then the main event, Samoa Joe against the phenomenal AJ Styles. Talk about talent that I was able and honored and blessed and fortunate to work with. And to be on the same event, the same locker rooms, the same dressing rooms, hanging out in the hotels, the bars, the taverns, traveling on the road and being able to pick their brain when they were much younger than I was. Remember the years, 2005, 2006, 2007, and where guys like Christian Cage were, and AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe, and Jay Lethal, and the Monster Abyss. I want you to think about that. They're in the heydays of TNA. WCW was persona non grata. And of course, the only game in town was the WWE. Now, Ring of Honor was still trolling around. ECW was long gone. AWA, anyone else in recognition. So that's why this group right here was one of the best in the country that I worked for. These are independent shows, and you see all the Hall of Famers and legends that were on these shows. Let's go to night 2. Hale Collins from the Now against former WCW light heavyweight champion, or cruiserweight champion, I believe, maybe even X division, I'm not sure. Cousin to Billy Kidman would be one Mikey Batts. Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, took on Romeo Rosselli of the Heartthrobs with Velvet Sky. The Monster Abyss against the insane Michael Sane. 2 huge men in a 6-man match. Not a fucking trios back then. It was Cheech and Cloudy with Tony DeVito, the mouthpiece of the Baldies from ECW, against third-generation grappler Rocket Fred Curry, Kurt Adonis, and Brian Anthony. For the NEW Championship, the champion Xavier took on Mat Technician Josh Daniels. On that same event, Jerry the King Lawler with Queen Renee against Joey Mercury and Jonathan the Coach Coachman. In a tables match with yours truly, it was the Dudleys, Team 3D, against the Outcast Killers and yours truly in a tables match for the NWA World Tag Team titles. Let that marinate. Let that sink in. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah, I didn't like taking the what's up from Bubba Ray and Devon. Bully Ray, if you will. Another unbelievable event. Excuse me. The next event that I happen to find down here on DVD, and maybe we'll do some live-to-tape watch-alongs on these events. WrestleFest, another great show. Unbelievable. Just to show you the covers. I want you to see the originality here, guys and gals. Here's the lineup. Mat Technician Josh Daniels against second-generation grappler Ricky Landell. Purdy Curdy Adonis against the Masked Executioner number 2, and I was in his corner for the Executioner. Mikey Batts, as I said, cousin of Billy Kidman, former WCW TNA star, took on from the WWE, the Heartthrobs, Romeo Rosselli. Chuck Deep and Nick Neighborhood challenged the tag team of Danger Dave and Jeff Starr, the highlight reel of Sex and Violence. Some of these names you may not know, most of them you will. The Extreme Icon, or whatever they call it, the Innovator of Violence, Tommy Dreamer, against my old buddy and arch rival, Ron Zombie. Xavier, as I said, the very first Ring of Honor heavyweight champion, took on from the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. From WWE fame, Simon Dean, you guys remember Nova, a.k.a. Simon Dean, took on Jerry the King Lawler, the King of Memphis, the legend, if you will. You see how many times I got the chance to work with Lawler? That right there is worth all the travel and everything that I've ever done to be able to work with these legends and future Hall of Famers and young lions and veterans and heroes and rookies. That was worth it alone. These stories, these experiences, these DVDs, these VHS tapes, priceless memories, photos. That's how you can tell the difference between a fraud, a liar, and someone who lived the life. I've been accused of all of them. But the proof is in the pudding. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. It is what it is, man. Holding it down, keeping it real, and maintaining. Also, on this same event, WrestleFest, the patriarchy, who's your daddy? And I can't get enough of saying that because of where he is currently in AEW. Christian Cage took on Billy Kidman. You guys remember Kidman? One heck of a lightweight, cruiserweight, whatever you want to say. An unbelievable matchup. Barbed wire, baseball bats between Zombie and Dreamer. I mean, it truly was hardcore. You had everything in these lineups, from tag team bouts to hardcore bouts to heavyweight championship bouts to mat technique bouts. Everything you could think of. Six-man tag bouts. Let's go on to the next DVD. Unbelievable event here on the border of the Constitution State in New York City. On this event, just to let you see the cover, Ricky Landell took on Mikey Batts. Ron Zombie went up against Kurt Adonis. Romeo Rosselli and Velvet Sky took on third-generation grappler Fred Curry, Rocket Fred Curry Jr. The big man, Too Sweet. That's right, Diesel, Vinny Vegas, Oz, whatever you want to call him. New World Order, Kevin Nash was in the building that night. The big man. AEW star, Ring of Honor star, legend, Jay Lethal took on the unbelievable Matt Grappler, as I've said already, Josh Daniels. The Outcast Killers with yours truly took on the Now, Vic Hale and Hale Collins, or Hale Collins and Vic. I forgot, man. My mind's like a lazy Susan. It'll come back around. But the Now was just in the NWA Tag Team Tournament. Yeah. Unbelievable tag team. Been around a long time. How the fuck did I forget that? Guys, forgive me, because I know you're going to be watching this. Also, Chris Sabin, Motor City Machine Guns, against Christian Cage. The main event, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles took on the Monster Abyss. Now, these are independent cards. These are events that could sell out any venue. I'm not talking about Madison Square Garden or the Forum or anything like that, or Boston Garden. I'm talking about just a notch below. Every night we had at least a couple of thousand minimum in attendance on these events. You see where all the legends and stars and heroes and rookies and veterans came from and where they go to. Events like these, and I was honored to be a part of them. The next event, Holiday Havoc. Another unbelievable event. Again, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I hope you're enjoying the content and what I'm reviewing quickly here. And come on back. Don't go anywhere because we're going to jump right into story time. So I don't want you guys to go anywhere. Holiday Havoc. On the event this night, 2006, I believe. From the Heartthrobs, the WWE, Antonio Thomas went up against Josh Daniels. Nick in a female match, women's grappling, two very qualified grapplers. Nikki Rocks challenged Ariel. Also, the insane Michael Sane with yours truly against the one and only G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter. That's right, the Sarge. I won't forget it either, Slaughter. I didn't forget about that match with Bundy and myself against you two, where you put me in that fucking Cobra Clutch. Don't think I've forgotten, Slaughter. Shane Valentine took on the Rocket Fred Curry in a three-way dance for the championship. It was Jay Lethal against AJ Styles, against Xavier, Talk about a three-way dance. The late, great John Xavier, Jay Lethal, and AJ Styles. Three legends. Unbelievable matchup that night. The Spotlight, Jeff Starr and Mikey Bats took on the tag team of the Now with the unbelievable, easy on the eyes, Tina Marina. And then here we go, the main event. I told you about these series of tables matches for the NWA World Tag Team titles. Yours truly, with Oman Tortuga, Diablo Santiago, the Outcast Killers, against Team 3D, the Dudley Boys, Devon and Bully Ray. No, we didn't win the championships that night, but that just goes to show you how many times in one night, three legends I had to face with my guys. Sergeant Slaughter and the Dudley Boys. Let that marinate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. March Mayhem 2007. Another unbelievable event that I was a part of. Most of my events are on VHS and cards and that I've been involved with and all my talent against the legends. I was fortunate enough as we got onto the middle 2000s to be able to get copies of these DVDs. Unbelievable. They're out there. You can go out and get them. You can buy them. You can watch them here. Most of these matches are right here on the channel. Navigate the playlist. Over 3,000 videos coming up on 1 million total views. Averaging 10,000 fans and viewers a week on this show. I say it all the time. Not any better. Not competing with anybody. A unique niche cult following here for the GOC, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those that are lurking in the back, 85% of you that are unsubscribed, just know that I know, and I know that you know that I'm watching. It gets back to me. I get inboxed. I get emailed. You guys have my email address. You can inbox me on Twitter, aka X. I've given out my email more than once, and I'll give it out again. I have 2 email addresses. Fan Mail Friday is one of the popular shows on this channel, along with Storytime, This Date in Pro Wrestling History, Flashback, Chaos Corner, Dinner for Two, Chaos Clips, In-Ring Action, the classics. You get everything on this channel. Email me anytime with your questions and comments. Good, bad, or ugly, I'm going to read them on air. Chaos Big Daddy, the number 2, at yahoo.com. I'll say it again. Chaos Big Daddy, the number 2, at yahoo.com. And then, of course, Chaos Big Daddy, the number 11. That's right. Chaos Big Daddy, the number 11, at gmail.com. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Email me. I'll answer all your questions. As I said, right, wrong, or indifferent. The good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what I give you here. Let's get back to March Mayhem. WWE superstar Romeo Rosselli challenged the unbelievable grappler Jason Blade. We have the micro minis, the midgets, if you will, intergender as well. Velvet McIntyre, a.k.a. Talia Madison, and Short Sleeve Samson took on Kurt Adonis and Ariel. Jerry the King Lawler was in the building this night. Michael Sane took on third-generation grappler Rocket Fred Curry Jr. Jay Lethal, Black Machismo, who's hanging out with old Slapnuts right now on AEW, and Sanjay Gupta, whatever his name is, Satnam Singh, El Gigante, I don't know, Karen Jarrett, whoever the fuck he's hanging out with, took on Josh Daniels. If I could say anything about guys like Mikey Bats, Jason Blade, Josh Daniels, these guys are unbelievable mat technicians and grapplers along the line. Not as good, but right there with guys like Dean Malenko. Unbelievable the way these guys can grapple, the mat technicians, along with Damian Adams that came through this circuit. Again, this is the independence, the backbone of this fucking business, where we're drawing thousands a night. I want you to remember that. Ron Zombie, the Beast Ron Zombie, or as I call him, the Psycho Madman. He looks just like Rob Zombie. Took on the Texas Outlaw. For the heavyweight title, the one and only John Xavier battled Samoa Joe. Let that marinate. On that same card, Sex and Violence, Danger and Star, along with yours truly, took on the legendary Hall of Fame tag team of Jerry the King Lawler and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. That's right, and we took it to their legend asses that night. What an honor. Lawler, don't think I've forgotten our long-standing feud. I'm 60 plus right now, you're 70 plus. Let's do it again, man. I'm no Andy Kaufman. What an unbelievable event this was to be a part of. So you see the names that I've been involved with. The proof is in the pudding. It's all right here. Let's go on to April of 2007. WrestleFest 11, I believe it was. Just look at the names on the front cover. Christian Cage, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal, John Xavier. It doesn't get much better than that. You see who I was running with in these days. And boy, were they legendary nights. Let me tighten up the chains for this one. These get heavy sometimes. Thanks for being here. Stay mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually fit. Shout out to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because if he's for us, no one else can be against us in these insane times that we're living in 2024. Heading into the fall of 24, the election, and everything else going on for 2025. Let's just see what happens. Head on a swivel, like-minded people. Stay aware. Just wanted to quickly throw that out here. Because then after this DVD, unless I can find a few more here within arm's length, we're going to hop off and then go on to story time. So don't go anywhere. I know AEW Dynamite is tonight. I know SmackDown is on Friday. Collision is on Saturday. Raw is on Monday. Everybody's up in arms about NXT. And we just came out of Bash in Berlin. We just came out of All In London. We're going to All Out Chicago. TNA Impact has a lot of things going on. But stay here on Chaos Corner to be informed. On this night, Jason Blade took on Brian Anthony. Again, two unbelievable grapplers. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Don't go Google it. Like the rest of you geeks out there say, go to DuckDuckGo, more private search engine. They're all watching anyway, big brother. From Eminem in the WWE, Joey Mercury and Romeo Rosselli with Velvet Sky challenged the Now. How about that? The Now. Going back 20 years, still an unbelievable tag team. To go against two WWE superstars? Mercury and Rosselli? Again, research it. And then, of course, the Monster Madman. 6'8", Michael Sane, along with the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, as we took on that little gnat that I like to call him. Although he's a generational grappler, although he's very good, he was no match for Sane and myself as we stomped into oblivion Frankie Arion. You remember the name, the late great legend from the WWF, Spiros Arion. Also, for the heavyweight title, TLC rules. That's right, tables, ladders, and chairs. Jay Lethal went up against Xavier. What a high-risk bout that was. Also on that night, again to my point of coming out 2 and 3 times a night with my guys and taking the fucking bumps. I keep telling you that. Until you get in the ring and do that, I don't know how much respect I have for you. I can respect your game as a podcaster. But just remember the difference in this channel or why you come here. Because of the credibility, the knowledge, the wisdom, the experience. You learn things here. So when you come in, you learn more than when you leave. So that when you go to your next bar mitzvah, holiday party, venue, barbecue, cookout, the office, the water cooler, you know what the fuck you're talking about. You could add something to the conversation because you come to Chaos Corner. Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, and I'll constantly say it. Also, on this card, as I said, Purdy Curdy Adonis with yours truly against that psychopath, Ron Zombie. I haven't forgotten, Zombie. You're not too far from me. I know where you live, Zombie. We've been battling for 30 years, homeboy. Home piece, home slice, home divot, home jacket. I'm not hard to find, and I'm always lurking in the shadows. On that same card, that's right, the Olympic hero, you suck, you suck, you suck. That's right, Kurt Angle on the same event with yours truly. And to be able to talk to him in the dressing rooms, I'll never forget it. What a gentleman. Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. Also on that card, again, talking about mat technicians, Josh Daniels took on Mikey Batts. And for the NWA World Heavyweight title, Christian Cage battled Samoa Joe. Let me say it again. Christian Cage battled Samoa Joe. All on the same event. So that shows you who I ran with, who I hung out with, who I worked with. Again, not bragging. I don't brag. I don't have an ego. And if I do, it's minimal. I'm humbled. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate for anything and everything I've ever done, whoever was allowed me to work with them. I can't thank you all enough. What an unbelievable event this was. Think about those matches. We're 30 minutes in here, and all I did was run down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 events out of the literally hundreds that I've done. Just so you guys understand who the fuck you're dealing with and who you're watching. And in order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you. Because there's 3 types of people in this world. Those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, that make things happen. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.